Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Now, first of all, I've got to apologise to everybody in Europe in particular that the show is coming to you so late today. Got a confession, right? First of all, my aim was to try and do it at about 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, our time, over here, so that it could be out early over there in the UK. I just didn't make it. The guys over in Atlanta, they had us partying and there was no way I could do it at that time. Then I had to wake up a few hours after that and head to the airport. Flew from Atlanta here to Washington, and it's taken us quite a while to check into our hotel room. We're in now, and I've got to do the show. So apologies for that. The show's coming to you guys a bit later, but we are still here. The show is still in full effect. Now, what of the rumours today? Well, several interesting ones. Wilfried Zaha. Let's start with him. Zaha, as we know, is on the tip of everybody's tongue right now. Lots of fans over here in America would love to see that happen. Lots of fans in Europe would love to see that happen. All around the world would like to see that happen. When getting some rumours coming out today that Arsenal are willing to offer £55 million. Remember, their initial bid was around about 40 million. Well, we're being told that they'd be willing to offer 55 million plus around 10 million in add-ons. So that would total around about 65 million pounds. I've been sort of saying along, I reckon anything between 60 and 70 is a sort of number that possibly could get this deal done. And also, as a sweetener, apparently Arsenal would be willing to offer Reiss Nelson on loan. Of course, here Nelson's a winger as well, so they'd be willing to offer him on loan as a sweetener. Now, as I said, these at this stage are just rumours. We don't know if this is fact or fiction, but that is the rumour going around today. Certainly, as I've been saying all along, a deal like this is going to go all the way to the wire if Arsenal choose to pursue it all the way to the wire, because Crystal Palace are not going to let him go cheaply. Crystal Palace don't want to sell, and again, it's going to depend a lot on Zaha, and if Zaha himself really wants to force through the move. On Zaha as well, there's Bayern Munich apparently very interested in signing Zaha as well. I'm a bit sceptical about this one because they've already, I saw Kingsley Coman the other day playing against Arsenal. He was absolutely brilliant. So they got him on one wing and they've got Serge Gnabry on the other wing. I mean, listen, they're not exactly short of wingers, but that is one of the rumours that Bayern Munich are taking a look at the Wilfried Zaha situation as well. But again, it's going to rumble on the Zaha one. And actually on the Reiss Nelson one, of him going out on loan, there's also talk that Hertha Berlin over in Germany in the Bundesliga would like to take Reiss Nelson on loan, or maybe even possibly buy him on a permanent deal. So again, we have to take a look out and see how that happens with Reiss Nelson. He's been figuring a lot of the sort of pre-season friendlies over here. Hasn't really lit up the friendlies, I have to say, Reiss Nelson so far, but it is pre-season and he did have a good season last year over there in the Bundesliga, so it'd be interesting to see how that happens. Now, William Saliba, that could get announced tomorrow. It's literally done. There's a lot of rumours that he's having his medical done today, or may have even already had it done. Of course, St Etienne have been over here in Washington, where I am right now. Yesterday they played against Marseille, and as you can see from this picture, Aubameyang, Lacazette, they were all there at the game. They met him, spoke to him afterwards, again fueling lots of speculation that the deal is about to be done. It does look like this is a done deal, and we know all about it, that he will then be loaned back to St Etienne for a year. William Saliba, the 18-year-old, so that one's looking like that's done. And then Dani Ceballos, again, lots of talk that this one is looking to get done. Two thoughts on this one. Number one, that it could be a loan deal for a season with an option to buy it for Arsenal. Number two option is apparently that Arsenal are interested in just buying him outright and may offer something between 27 to 30 million pounds to try and get the deal done and across the line. So Again, we'll have to wait and see. Could again be some movement on this one this week. We are running out of time. I think it's the 8th of August when the window closes. So Danny Ceballos, let's see how that one develops out. And then there's Kieran Tierney. A lot of talk again that Kieran Tierney also are about to go back in with a new bid for Tierney. As I sort of said yesterday, you know, they're being pretty patient on this one, Arsenal. No rush for them. Tierney at the moment is on rehab from his injury, and there doesn't appear to be no massive rush on Arsenal's part to try and get this one wrapped up, because they know they've still got time in the transfer window, and they don't want to go paying higher than what they, you know, want to pay. So, but there is talk that it could be a third bid going in for Kieran Tierney. So let's keep an eye out on that one and see how that develops. Now, Moise Kean of Juventus, spoken about this a couple of times over the past few days, still there again today, that he might be available for sale round about anything from about 22 to 25 million pounds, which is a bit of a steal. But as I said yesterday, what then happens to somebody like Eddie Nketiah, who's been doing so well over here in the pre-season friendlies? Do we loan him out again if we brought in a Moise Kean? Would that be the end of Eddie Nketiah? And reading through the comments yesterday, a lot of you guys out there seem to be very keen to make sure that Eddie Nketiah stays an Arsenal player and gets his chance for Arsenal this season. But Moise Kean once again being linked with Arsenal. Now, Arsenal linked also today with this Ukrainian player, a young player. His name is Mykola Sharparenko. He's only 20. He's a midfielder. Ukrainian internationals, played a handful of games for the Ukraine, but really is sparking a lot of interest amongst a lot of the top clubs in Europe. A really good midfielder indeed. Currently plays for Dynamo Kiev, and Arsenal are said to be very, very interested in him. But there's a host of other clubs looking at him as well. And whether that will be a signing that Arsenal would look to make now, I kind of doubt it. You know what I mean? Again, we've got young midfielders like Smith Rowe and these guys still also knocking on the door as well. So does that knock back these guys if you bring in a further young player? But interest apparently from Arsenal in him. It's also going to get linked to all of these top young players around Europe, as does all of the top clubs. So it doesn't surprise me to see Arsenal linked with him. Just doesn't seem to be a deal that I feel would be something Arsenal would be looking to do right now. And then what about the players going out? Mohamed El Neni today linked with a move to West Ham United. West Ham is splashing the cash over the summer, but apparently looking to strengthen their midfield. And, you know, Mohamed El Neni, they're looking at and thinking, yes, he could be that sort of utility player that could really, really benefit them. El Neni, definitely for me, it's time up for him. He's been here a long time. He's not getting regular football. For him himself personally, possibly the time to move on. And it's going to be interesting to see how many of those type of players at Arsenal, the so-called deadwood, as a lot of fans like to call them, will be moved out this season. But El Neni, interest in West Ham at the moment. And there's a host of other players like Carl Jenkinson, interest in Palace. We're going to see some of these players leave this summer for sure. Laurent Koscielny. What's happening with Laurent Koscielny? Well, there was lots of rumours that he could be going to Rennes. The president of Rennes has come out today and flat denied it. He said, listen, he's not going to be joining Rennes. He did admit that he was interested in Laurent Koscielny and that he got in contact with Arsenal and asked Arsenal about Koscielny, but they said basically Koscielny's not for sale. And, you know, so the president of Rennes is saying, well, fair enough, we're not interested in Koscielny. But could the deal still be on for Koscielny to move to Bordeaux? Certainly, Arsenal are not going to let Laurent Koscielny move for nothing, which is seemingly what he feels he was promised or what he would like to happen, probably because of the service he's given to Arsenal. But Arsenal are not prepared to let him go for nothing. The price that they're putting on him is around about £9 million. Will Bordeaux be a team that will come in and pay that for the 33-year-old? But certainly Arsenal playing hardball over this. Could Koscielny still end up playing for Arsenal? That'll be the interesting one this season. And what sort of Koscielny would that be if he was then forced to come back into the fold and play for Arsenal? Personally, I think it's time to sell him after what's happened. But it's going to be really interesting to see how that one develops out. Now, let's get into a couple of rumours. Got the laptop here. We do a couple here. Raslan Probeam says, if Icardi did say no to Arsenal, I'm so happy he did, he says, right? So he's not keen on Icardi. Icardi's a brilliant player, but all the problems that come with him. And I'll go with this one as the final one. Abfly77 says, it's so dumb that we didn't put a buyback clause on Gnabry. Listen, thanks for watching the show. We are in Washington, D.C. now, the capital of the United States of America. Make sure you check out all of our vlogs. We was at the Atlanta United game yesterday. That was brilliant. Make sure you check out the vlogs from that game. And looking to meet loads of Gooners over here in Washington and to catch up with them. And, of course, it's the big game tomorrow when Arsenal take on Real Madrid. Their big test of this trip so far, the biggest by far. And might get Hazard playing against us. And we know that always ends up, don't we? But looking forward to it. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back tomorrow.